everybody, and welcome to the Mind of Marlin and another Treetop Talk. The ducks are fed, the chickens are fed, and now it's time to feed your head. It's Labor Day weekend, and like Halloween, people have no idea what it's about or why we celebrate it. We just know that it's a 3-day weekend and time to party. Labor Day has nothing to do with women giving birth, but even not being a woman, I know that it looks like a lot of work. Scientists have done all kinds of studies on what is the most extreme thing the human body can undergo. Ultra marathons, where you're running 100 miles. The Ironman, where you first swim 2.4 miles, and then you bicycle 112 miles, and then you run a marathon of 26.22 miles, raced in that order. Extreme challenges of cold and heat, being shot into space, and endurance tests. And after everything they studied, they came to the conclusion that the most taxing event that the human body can undergo is gestating and giving birth to a child. We all come from a woman. And in the Jewish tradition, it's a matriarchy because the woman always knew without a shadow of a doubt that it was her child. The man, well, he just had to take her word for it. But Labor Day celebrates the workers and the laborers. Gee, sounds Marxist, doesn't it? If there was ever a holiday that shouted, "Power to the people," it would be Labor Day. But like women, it is the worker, the laborer, who always seems to get the short end of the stick, though they put themselves and their bodies through more stress and more pain than anybody else on the economic food chain. People with white collar and executive high-paying jobs so easily forget this. That executive eats food because of a laborer farming it. He has clothes to wear because a laborer sewed it. He's at a keyboard because a laborer made it. Is in an office building because a laborer built it. The fancy car they drive comes from an assembly line because a laborer built it. And also a robot. Let's not forget our robot friends. The coffee they drink was picked by a laborer. The fine bourbon they drink is because a laborer grew the corn and a trucker moved the boxes to the store. It's labor that made America what it is, not hedge fund managers or Wall Street brokers or politicians for that matter. It wasn't white-collar jobs that made America great, but the people who sweat and toil for wages that hardly honor the human being and the contribution they make to society. I met a Republican once who insisted that the value of a human's contribution is based on the money they make. That was his metric. We do that in our culture, if not overtly, then subconsciously. We value the salesman who makes 6 figures a year over the paramedic and EMT who saves people's lives. We give more credence to a person who's a millionaire than the person who's a concert pianist and touches people's lives. We look up to those who have a rich lifestyle more than a teacher who inspires kids and in doing so touches the future. A study was done that showed that silver medalists were less happy than the bronze medalist. Why? Well, for the silver medalists, they will always be seen as second best. Whereas the bronze medalists, they were thrilled to have even gotten to the podium and get a medal at all. In America, it is the first is the greatest, without really ever seeing the whole picture. We're not taught to respect and admire the dedication that an athlete has to even make to get to the Olympics to compete. The top of the heap only indicates which piece of trash has the best view. In the labor movement, there are no celebrity workers the way there are in the sports world. For the worker, they will never gain the notoriety and the status that a banker might have. The laborer will never be given the spotlight like an entertainer. But that athlete, that banker, that entertainer rely on the worker to even have what they have. All 3 of them wear shoes made by labor. All 3 of them eat food picked by a laborer, grown by a laborer, farmed by a laborer. All three of them and all the others in their particular fields need, not want, but need the labor and the worker to make it through a single solitary day. So the next bite of food you take, the next sip of beer you have, the next time you put on your shirt, pull up your pants, slip on your shoes, the next time you sit behind your car or get on a bicycle, the next time you go to sleep under a roof, the next time you wash a dish, the next time you open a book or look at your phone, take one breath and thank the worker and the laborer for doing what they do so you can enjoy what you have. Happy Labor Day, everybody. See you next time. Aloha.